Play scenarios is why we're here. Let's go. Stick around. Greetings and welcome back to the Basketball Rules Expert, the show where we look at play scenarios so we can get better, stay sharp as basketball officials. Let's get going today with our very first play scenario. Prior to the game, the visiting team properly uses the east goal and the home team the west goal. The officials, by mistake, allow the jumpers to face the wrong direction. Several baskets are scored before it is recognized that the teams are going in the wrong direction. The officials rule that all scoring and activity shall count. They correct the direction and let the game proceed. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? So a mistake has been made in the game. For whatever reason, players were going in the wrong direction to start the game. Basketball has been played. Time has been run off of the clock. Goals have been scored. Fouls may or may not have occurred. Basketball has been played, and it is recognized that teams are going in the wrong direction. The officials simply say, we recognize the mistake. Here's the correction prescribed by rule. Everything shall count. We will fix the direction. We will make sure everybody understands what's going to happen next, and then we'll proceed, and the game will proceed as it should, right? A really simple and straightforward thing. One thing it emphasizes is that human beings are involved in the game of basketball, right? Mistakes will occur. Sometimes they are correctable error scenarios that have very specific remedy. Sometimes they're just simply mistakes that have occurred, and how to remedy the mistake is the important takeaway. If we remedy mistakes by rule, we're in great shape. So in this case, if we'd said, oh, okay, we've obviously something has gone wrong, let's go back and we'll re-jump the ball at 8, no. Simply correct, as the officials did here. So in this instance where the officials did just that, were our officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This is the correct remedy for this mistake being made. It can happen at the start of the game. It can happen in an overtime scenario. The simple remedy is recognize, fix, move on. With both teams in the bonus, A1 is fouled by B1. Before A1 releases the try on the first throw, teammate A2 fouls B2. A1's throw is successful. The officials score the goal and then clear the lane for A1's second merited free throw. Then resume play with B2's bonus free throws with lane spaces filled. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Both teams are in the bonus. A1 is fouled, awarded their merited free throws. During the first free throw, after they've begun their habitual throwing motion, but prior to the release, their teammate fouls an opponent in a marked lane space. A foul is ruled. The ball goes in the basket. The officials score the goal, say, hey, they report the foul. We're going to go to the other end and shoot bonus free throws. But first, we have a merited free throw left for our thrower. And they proceed in this fashion. Everything seems great. But the reason I've posted this play is I get this wrong all the time on Basketball Rules Expert. My brain will not process correctly that this is a team control foul by rule. I got it wrong in the preseason rules test. I got it wrong in explaining a situation. So we've put it back on the table so we can look at this play. Prior to the release, a foul by a teammate causes the ball to become dead. Does it eliminate the fact that A1 will be awarded merited free throws? No, but it causes the ball to become dead. No goal can be scored. This is a team control foul by rule. Will bonus free throws be attempted as a result? No. No, they will not. Let's make that super clear. If I've made a mistake in a previous video, we're fixing it now. There is no bonus free throws will be attempted as a result. So, but we will have the resumption. We do have to adjudicate the foul on this play, right? So, in this situation, A1 has been awarded merited free throws. Have they attempted their merited free throws? No. They are due those. We will clear the lane in this instance after reporting the foul. A1 will attempt their first of merited bonus free throws. If successful, they will be attempting a second. And after that, we will have a throw-in nearest the spot of the foul, and that is how the game shall be resumed. So in this instance where the officials scored the goal and attempted bonus free throws at the other end, were those officials correct? No, they were not. And was I correct when I screwed this play up on previous episodes? No, I was not. This would be the correct adjudication of this play, recognizing that since it was prior to the release, it is a team control foul. That's the key component. Prior to the release, a team control foul. If it was after the release, then our officials would have adjudicated everything properly. But since it was prior, it's a team control foul. The ball became dead. A1 completes the throw into A2 to begin the second half. A2 is confused and dribbles toward the basket Team A used during the first half and dunks the ball into the basket of Team B. The officials rule a legal goal for Team B and award a non-designated spot throw-in to Team A along the end line. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? All right, I'm turned around already on this play, right? So we have a confused player to start the second half. We award the ball to Team A. They are supposed to go this way. They go that way. They dunk the ball into their basket or their opponent's basket. And the officials rule that goal shall count, and it will be a non-designated spot throw-in along the end line for Team A. Right? So when this situation occurs in the game, everybody is stunned, confused, right? Everybody questions, like Team B, the players, right? I have seen in my game something like this occurs, and all of the players just adapt immediately, and everybody starts going the wrong direction. It happens. Team B in this instance takes the ball out, pushes the ball up court. Players are very adaptable in this situation. But in this situation, right, a team has scored in the opponent's goal. That is 2 points for the opponent. The end line throw-in in this instance would go to Team A since it's after a scored goal. After a scored goal, we would award the ball to Team A for a non-designated spot throw-in, and the game shall continue. If there's any sense of confusion, right, we would want to put our voice in the game. We could always stop play if something is about to occur that's incorrect. But in this instance, the officials seem to have done the correct thing. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This would be the proper adjudication. Goal for the opponent. You can hear the head coach now yelling at his player. And we are moving on from that situation. Hey, time to go to the show supporter big board. Who is supporting the show this week? Brett Temple, David Yanikian, Jonathan Harris, Herb Hahn, and Roger George. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? I'll put a link down in the show notes below, and I'll put one up above. A1 is fouled by B1 during rebounding action. The players then go face-to-face and a double technical foul is called. The original foul by B1 was the 10th team foul on Team B. The officials report all the fouls, then resume the game with 2 free throws by A1 with players in marked lane spaces. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? A1 is fouled during rebounding action, and it's the 10th team foul. The result of that foul would be the awarding of 2 merited bonus free throws to A1. After the play, 2 players exchange pleasantries, not happy with each other. Double technical fouls are assessed on those players. The officials report all of the fouls and resume. After a double foul situation, we would resume at the point of interruption. What was the point of interruption on this play? Right? If the technical fouls had not occurred, what would happen next? That's our point of interruption. Our point of interruption is A1 would be attempting 2 merited bonus free throws, and that's how the officials resumed the game. So in this instance, where the officials did resume the game with those merited free throws, were the officials correct? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This is a correct adjudication. Anytime we have double technicals, which we have in this situation for dead ball action, double foul, we always resume at the point of interruption and no free throws will be attempted as the result of that action. Double foul, no free throws, resume at the point of interruption. One of the things we like to talk about on this show is taking the rules with us onto the basketball court, right? Having fundamental concepts about the rules that we can rely on. Simplifying, clarifying, and amplifying the rules so that we could take them with us onto the basketball court, because that's where it counts. One of the things we can always take with us is that a double foul, double technical, double intentional, double flagrant, double, no free throws shall be attempted, and resume at the point of interruption. A1 is disqualified for receiving a 5th personal foul. With 2 minutes remaining in the game, A1 re-enters the game and as a substitute, guess what? I'm going to start over. A1 is disqualified for receiving a 5th personal foul. With 2 minutes remaining in the game, A1 re-enters the game as a substitute and promptly scores a goal. The officials don't recognize A1's entry until during the dead ball after A1's goal. The officials score the goal, count the goal, and rule a direct technical foul on the head coach of Team A. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Well, now this is not something we see every day. The player has been disqualified. Hopefully, our crew had properly notified the coach. Coach, that player has 5. That's the only way the player would become disqualified, right? That is when a player becomes disqualified. If they had simply fouled and left the game, and the coach was not, but let's assume that they had been, and the player then re-enters the game. They score a goal. Players, they recognize the opposing coach says, hey, you can't count that goal, right? He was an illegal player, etc., what have you, right? What do we know about substitutes? What do we know about disqualified players re-entering the game, right? It is illegal for a disqualified player to re-enter the game. Who bears the responsibility for that action? National Federation of High School Basketball rules. It is the responsibility of the head coach to allow this to occur. When a player illegally enters the game, which we would say occurred, that's yet to be determined about this play, but that player entered the game and played basketball. The result of any activity they had will count. We will not take time off the clock. We will not take points off the board in this situation. A mistake, again, a mistake has occurred in the game. What is the remedy for that mistake, right? We are never authorized in this instance to take time off the clock, put that time back on the clock, take points off of the board. Those are not allowed for us in this instance. We simply recognize the situation. We properly assess a technical foul on the head coach. We shoot those technical foul free throws. Division line throw-in is how we would resume the game. So in this instance, where the officials scored the goal, allowed it to happen, and then assessed a direct technical foul on the head coach, were our officials correct in this instance? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, they were. This would be the correct adjudication on this play, unlikely and unique play scenario. Chris Janish in the chat, I find myself needing to do a better job of slowing down and taking my time when a player is disqualified on a fifth foul, sounding the horn, alerting the head coach, etc. Need to take time and do it right. Chris, I agree with you, and this is something that it's a key moment of the game, and we want to really be on point. That's why I created this 5 minutes on officiating video, to help us go through that process. If you're interested in improving your disqualification process, check out this video that we linked above. All right, let's move on to another play scenario. Dribbler A1 is fouled. It is the 7th foul on Team B. The officials erroneously award a throw-in. During the dead ball, A1 is replaced by A6. The ball is inbounded, and while Team A has the ball in the front court, the table alerts the crew of the error. The officials rule that the free throws will be attempted by A1, who will re-enter the game replacing A6. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Wow, this is a tough scenario, right? We have a player who is fouled. It is the 7th team foul. They should be awarded merited free throws, but instead a throw-in is ruled. The ball is inbounded. The ball is in play. The horn sounds, hey, ref, 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 ref. That was 7. That should be 1 and 1, right? The officials say, hey, we're going to pull that offended player off of the bench and have them attempt their merited free throws. Is that the correct ruling in this situation? Boy, this is a unique situation, and one that is fortunately addressed by case play, right? The case play in this situation says, yes, this is the correct ruling. That player was the offended player, and we will not have their substitute attempt the free throws, but rather that player will be brought back in the game and attempt those merited free throws. That is not an intuitive ruling in this situation, but is correct. So when our officials in this instance did exactly that, obviously our officials were in the rules book, in the case book, and knew the correct ruling, and yes, they were. That is the correct ruling on this play. We are bringing that player back in the game to attempt those merited free throws. That is non-intuitive to me, but that's the correct ruling on the play. That was a tough scenario, but let's move on to our next play scenario. A1 is charged with her 5th personal foul, and upset at herself, she reacts with a loud profanity. The covering official also charges A1 with a technical foul. The officials rule that A1 is disqualified for getting the 5th foul, and that the technical foul is also charged indirectly to the head coach, since it occurred after the disqualifying foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right? So this player receives a foul It is her fifth foul, and afterward is assessed a technical foul. The officials say, hey, well, she got her fifth. That disqualifies her. And then she got one after that. So that is a bench technical in that instance. And that is going to be an indirect on the head coach. And that's their ruling. But our officials were confused on this play because that player is not disqualified and they are not bench personnel until what simple act occurs? Coach, that player has 5. Right? That is the moment a player becomes disqualified. Prior to that, they could be assessed several technical fouls. Right? They could have a tantrum on the court. So in this instance, our officials have made a mistake. This is not the correct ruling on the play. A player is only disqualified when the coach is informed that the player has 5 fouls, and until that point, they are not bench personnel. If, in this instance, rather than the way that played out in this instance, this player received their 5th foul, right? The coach is properly informed. On their way to the bench, as they're pulling out their shirt, they say something untowards, or they do the same action, a loud profanity, right? Oh, that's a technical foul on that team member? At that point, and that since the coach had been notified at that point, that player would be considered bench personnel from that point forward, and that would be the correct ruling that we got on this play. But that's not what occurred on this one, so our crew got it wrong. Another play scenario? Sure. A1, in attempting to screen, takes a stationary position in the path of moving B1. The position of A1 is so close to B1 that B1 cannot avoid A1 and gets knocked off balance. The officials rule an illegal screen on A1 and use the punch signal to indicate a team control foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no, right? So we are screening a moving opponent. When a screener is screening a moving opponent, they must allow time and distance for the player being screened to avoid the screen. That's a simple summation of screening a moving opponent rules. In this instance, A1 did not do that and is liable for an illegal screen. In addition to getting the call correct here, our official uses the antiquated punch signal, a crime to be sure. So in this instance, were the officials correct, yes or no? Well, we've got a bit of a combo here. They were correct in their ruling about the foul. Per NFHS mechanics, they used an antiquated signal at the spot of the foul. This would be a breach of protocol at the NFHS level. So I guess technically we were correct, but what's our ruling here? Our official was correct. Yes, they were. The use of an inaccurate signal does not negate the correct ruling on the play, and we say, long live, long live, long live the punch. Of course, in some parts of the country, the punch is still in use and is not relegated to the improper signals that are confusing to game stakeholders. Cool. How about another? A1 gets the ball in the post, drives to the basket, and is fouled by B1. The ball goes in. A1 turns and taunts B1 and is assessed a technical foul. It is A1's 5th foul. The officials allow A1 to attempt his merited free throw, and then they follow the disqualification procedure for A1 and allow the head coach to select a player or eligible substitute to attempt the 2 free throws for the technical foul. Were the officials correct? Yes or no? Right, so A1 goes in, scores, and is fouled. Has something to say, like, that's on your head, whatever. Directs unsporting comment towards their opponent and is assessed a player technical foul. Hey, ref, that player's got 5, right? The officials say, okay, all right, well, they're due 2 merited free throws, so we're going to let them shoot those free throws, and then we're going to disqualify them, and then we will resume allow the opposing coach to choose a player or eligible substitute to shoot those free throws. I guess that's what our second part of that question, obviously the opponent is going to do that. So is that the correct procedure on this play? Obviously not. Obviously not. When a player receives their 5th foul, at that point, they should be disqualified immediately and are no longer eligible to attempt the merited free throws in this situation. This is simple and straightforward. But it's a conundrum in that, well, wait a minute, they are awarded 2 free throws and now they're disqualified. Do we, et cetera, right? Officials become confused in this instance because clearly, by rule, when a player receives their 5th foul, that is the moment that the coach should be notified that they have been disqualified. When a player is disqualified and is due merited free throws, their substitute would attempt those merited free throws. Who will determine who the substitute is? The team's coach will make that. Coach, I need a substitute. They're going to shoot the free throws. So in this instance, when the officials did something other than that, allowing the player to attempt their merited free throws prior to being disqualified, were the officials correct? No, that wouldn't be the correct ruling on this play. Hey, time to go to the show supporter big board. Who is supporting the show this week? Brett Temple, David Yanikian, Jonathan Harris, Herb Hahn, and Roger George. Much appreciated and much love. You want to support the show? I'll put a link down in the show notes below, and I'll put one up above. We've got it. Additional video content here. Here's the 5 minutes on officiating that I referred to in the show. Here is our latest 5 Play Friday with some great clips. Make your choice. Choose wisely. We'll see you in the very next one.